Hello and welcome to Weekend Investing Daily Bites. Today is 29th of November. We are shooting episode 142 and we're going to discuss this question that we are all often faced with, have the markets gone up too far? And we've been facing this question for last more than a year, and at every level we felt, at least most of us, that the market has already gone up too far, but the market still kept going. So we'll just take a look at the history of the index, the last many decades, and see how the markets have behaved whenever there were excesses in terms of the index build-up. First, a look at the markets. So markets opened with a huge gap down, almost a couple of 100 points on the Nifty, and then there was a very sharp recovery, almost 350 points from the bottom. And the rest of the day was basically again giving back whatever was the net gain of the day to close very near flat. But many of the sectors got dramatically hit. PSU banks, real estate, energy stocks, pharma, commodities, to name some of them. Virtually everything except IT was softer than the previous day. But the major story was also the sort of divergence between large caps and small caps. So as we will see on the indices page, small caps were hit 2.5%, mid and small cap index was hit 1.5%. Even the Nifty Next 50 was hit almost 1%, but the Nifty closed marginally in the green. So the focus of the index movement was very misleading when compared to the rest of the market, the broader base of the market, which was predominantly down. And weekend investing small cases also, most of them were pretty much bettered from minus 3.8% up, going up to a maximum of nearly minus 1%, and then a couple of them were in either flat territory or green territory. So bad day from a small case, weekend investing small case perspective also. So market is not willing to bounce back very quickly, as was the case earlier. So that definitely there is a change in the dynamics of the market. Of course, we also have negative cues from overseas markets, and hence, the FII selling is also adding to the pressure. What remains to be seen is that how the domestic investors will behave going forward, and the inflow into the mutual fund, etc., which has been holding the markets up so far, whether that dynamic will change, and that will be the key to the next few months, next few weeks for the markets. So let's dive into the topic today. So have the markets gone up too far? Let's first take a look at the history of the index. So I'll take you to a chart of the Sensex. We're taking a Sensex chart because Nifty started in mid 90s, and we need a more longer perspective here. So this is the entire index movement in the last 45 years, starting from 79 to 20 and 42 years is what we have here. And you can see that from 1979 till about 1990, it is virtually a flat line, right? It seems like that, but let's go and zoom in there. So now you can see 1980 to 1990, and that was a 5x move. Even 1980 to 1990, you were going from 120 to 720. However, when you look at the whole picture, this period looks like a nothing sort of a period. And then if you were to see, and this is sort of a parabolic move up kind of a chart, obviously you will be very, very scared here, coming into the market, saying that so much move has already happened, so why should I risk it here? But if I just give you some perspective, let's look at this. Uh, this was the bull run of Harshad Mehta peak. The Sensex went from around 1000 in January 91 to 4200. 4 times the index moved within a period of 15 months. Can you imagine that now? I mean, Nifty is at 17,000, or Nifty was, let's say, at 7,500 at the bottom of COVID. If it were to have reached 30,000 already, we are a year and a half from that, roughly. If it had reached 30,000, that would have, been the equivalent of what was seen at Harshad Mehta period. So it is an unbelievable, run that we had at that time. But just see how it looks now in the chart. Can you even spot it? This is that peak. And if you look at it now, you would say, nothing happened at that point of time. So the same thing will happen here also. When you will look at it, 10 years, 20 years hence, this move may not seem very significant. Because we are in a growth economy, and the index itself is a ever-changing momentum portfolio where laggards are dropped out and new winners are brought in. So the index always keeps moving up. You can see that this with the 2008 scenario. So we had a bull run in 2008. Market went from 2,800 to 20,000, almost 9 times or 8 times maybe within a period of 5 years. 8x in 5 years. Just imagine if we can go 8x in 5 years from here on. And it dramatically collapsed after that. But in the larger picture of things, that peak is not so significant anymore. If you were investing here, you were also investing on the downside, then you were investing here also. It has gone in a certain, trend, and the trend has been up with minor. Now I can say minor. Of course, if you are living through those times, it will seem very major. But what you can see now here is that I have also plotted a moving average. So it's a 10-month moving average, which is equivalent to the 200 days moving average actually, roughly. So 40-week moving average, 200-day moving average, 40-week moving average, and 10-month moving average is sort of, equivalent on an equivalent basis. And you can see that on each run, the market comes back to the average. So it is sort of reversion to the mean. Whenever there will be excesses on the upside as well as downside, the markets in due course will revert to the mean. So mean being the average that we are talking about here. And you can say the market keeps dancing around this average. Even when it goes up here, it comes back, goes up, comes back, goes up, comes back. And then there was excesses on the downside. It comes back to the mean, goes up, comes back to the mean. It will keep doing that, right? And the same had happened during COVID times also. There was extreme downward movement below the mean, came back up, again tracked the average, went up, and it may again come back to the average. The average currently is at around 50, let me just see, around 54,000 on the Sensex. And the Sensex right now is 57,000. So the average is less than 10% away. Not such a big deal. Not such a big deal. So at every point of this rally, let's say from here on, you were questioning whether, the market has run up too much. There is no point of doing that. As long as, if let's say you're doing momentum investing, then you're not trying to forecast, how far the market will go ahead. Let the market go. You just follow your strategy, knowing very well that, the strategy will protect you on the downside as well. And you can keep allocating capital gradually. So even if you were allocating capital here and this has happened, most strategies went to cash. The ones that don't go to cash, the ones that go into defensive stocks went into defensive stocks and came out of this trough and are gaining after that, right? No strategy was, sitting in loss despite this happening. So this will happen again and again and again. if you see the history, the history is just repeating itself. There are excesses built, market comes back to the averages, goes below the average, then comes back up again, then goes below, then comes back. So of course, if you want to time the market, these are the best times to accumulate. When the market is below the average, that is the best time to accumulate the stocks. Okay. So let's now go back to the presentation and see what is the next slide here. Okay, so this is the what we have seen just now is being represented on this chart, where it is plotted what is the distance of the Sensex to its 10-month moving average. So this is a percentage difference. So you can see that during the Harshad Mehta peak, the index moved nearly 75% above the moving average, and then of course it came back. So each of these moves are move away from the moving average, then coming back to it, then moving away, coming back, moving away, coming back, moving away, coming back, so on and so forth. So you can see the number of times this has been done over the last 30-35 years. Every time the market moves away from the moving average, of course the moving average is also moving along with the market. It's not a static thing, but nevertheless you have a reference point that whenever the market is at moving average or below it, that's a great place to buy. If you are, let's say, you're doing buy and hold, or you want to add capital. Of course, momentum investing, you don't have to time it this way, and you can buy at any time, and over a longer period, it will resolve itself out. So what we can see here is that barring these one or two large moves in the 90s, in the last decade or 2 decades, in fact, every time we moved roughly 20%, 17, 18, 20% away from the moving average, we've come back to the moving average after that. So there is some sort of a, band that is there of, maybe 15 to 25%, you can say, on a liberal basis. That once you are away by 15 to 25% above the moving average, the 10-month moving average, there is a good propensity to come down towards the moving average again. And similarly on the downside, if you are, let's say, 20% off, from 15 to 20% off from the moving average, you will probably bounce back or go back. So 15-20% around the 10-month moving average has been the sort of the most common breach of the distance from the moving average. So what we can see from here is that while there is no formula or exact science that you should do once a moving average has been breached by 15% or 20%, but it will give you a rough idea of where you can aggressively add and where you can continue the SIPs, etc. So when you're doing SIPs, you don't have to try to time it, but there are people who would want to do lump sum additions, people who want to time the market better. So this is a very good benchmark where you can see that where you want to lighten or where you want to really add. So the question that has the market gone up too much? So if we see from a historical perspective, not really. I mean, we reached about 18%, so just about in that ballpark figure of 15 to 25%. So this is pretty much par for the course, and we may come back to the moving average, which is less than 10% away now. So that is probably also par for the course at some point of time. Either we may go sideways and the moving averages catch up to meet us there, or we go downwards and try to meet the moving average. So this is all I had for this today's session on seeing the history of indexes and how they move with the moving averages. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.